What speaker is not working?
Kurt, do you have a recommendation?
What's the
Still nothing.
USB codec on microphone.
Got it. Okay.
I'm sure my speakers are on.
What about now?
There we go.
So, yeah, I did hear confirmation from Freddie and Austin that they'd be here, so maybe wait a couple minutes, see if we can get for them.
I'm happy to continue to wait. We don't really have a lot that we can talk about or do without 5 people today, so. Five of 6 people who said that they were going to be in attendance today. So I think we can call this meeting to order. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Jared, could you go through the rules of engagement and then roll call of committee attendees or committee members, please?
Yes. Good afternoon. My name is Jared Allen, Administrative Technician, Lawrence Transit. With me here is Adam Weigel, Transit and Parking Manager. He will work alongside Mike Wazakowski to facilitate the meeting's proceedings. This meeting is being recorded and broadcast on the city's YouTube channel and public access cable channel 25. During the meeting, when you are not participating, please mute yourself by clicking on the microphone icon found on the lower left-hand side of the Zoom menu. In some cases, we may mute or unmute people as needed to minimize distractions during the meeting. Please remember to state your name and title for the benefit of those listening remotely. If you are participating by phone, you can click *6 to unmute your phone. And now I will do roll call. Lance Fay,
Present.
Austin Stifler,
Present.
Mike Wazakowski,
Present.
Foster Spicinger,
Not here.
Alan Ackland,
Not here.
Gregory Critchlow,
Not here.
Bill Wilson,
Present.
August Rudisell,
Not here.
Freddie Gipp.
Present. Okay, that makes 5. So we officially have a quorum. Thank you very much. First item on the agenda is public comment. Seeing that we have no written communication and we have nobody on the Zoom call with us who is not a member of the committee in the room. Public comment, do you have anything you'd like to say today?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. First item on the agenda after that then is approving minutes from our December meeting. I know I tend to ask 3 times if you have any amendments to offer to the minutes after you've had enough time to review. So I will go through and hopefully you've had some time to look at and you can advise now. First call, are there any amendments to offer on the minutes from our December meeting? Second call, are there any amendments to offer from the minutes of our December meeting? Last call, are there any amendments to offer to the minutes from our December meeting? Okay, hearing no amendments or objections, the minutes are deemed approved by unanimous consent. And that brings us to our first regular agenda item, which is naming a new chair and vice chair for this calendar year of operation. As you know, Lance Fay and I have been your vice chair and your chair for the last calendar year. I would look forward to continuing to serve as chair if you all would vote for me. I would definitely be willing to serve again, but I do not want to put it behind anyone else who wants to step up and try to run the committee as well. So unless there are any comments people want to add right now, we would open the floor to entertain motions for who should be nominated for chair at this time.
This is Freddie Gibb speaking. Motion to renominate Mike Wazowski.
Close enough. Mike Wazakowski.
Yeah, my fault.
Motion on the floor, or one nomination on the floor. I can't remember, Adam. Do we require seconds?
Lance Fay, second.
Okay, we'll do a second with that. Thank you, Lance. Are there any other nominees that people want to put forward? Hearing none, unless there's discussion, we can bring that to a motion to a vote. Jared, please.
Lance Fay,
Yes.
Austin Stifler,
Yes.
Mike Wazakowski,
Yes.
Bill Wilson,
Yes.
Freddie Gibb.
Yes.
Sounds unanimous. Thank you very much, everyone. Look forward to serving as chair for another year. At this time, we will take motions or nominations for vice chair. Lance, are you willing to run again?
Yes, I would be willing to serve again as vice chair, and would say also that if there is somebody else that is interested and wants to speak up now, feel free to do so, but if not, I'm happy to do it again.
Thank you for that. Is there anyone else interested? I would definitely be willing to spread the wealth around. Okay, hearing no interest, Lance, I am going to nominate you for vice chair.
Bill Wilson, I'll second that.
Okay, thank you, Bill. Give a moment if anyone else wants to change their mind and run. Okay, Jared, could you go through a roll call of our vote, please?
Lance Fay,
Yes?
Austin Stifler,
Yes.
Mike Wazakowski,
Yes.
Bill Wilson,
Yes.
Freddie Gipp.
Yes.
Thank you very much, everyone. Lance, look forward to working with you again in the coming year.
Certainly.
That closes down our first agenda item then. So next agenda item is a selection of a committee representative to serve on the Downtown Station Steering Committee. As all of y'all surely know, we just opened up the Central Station, and we still have a temporary transfer location across the street from the library, and we're standing up this committee to help go through the process of identifying candidate locations and then selecting a particular location that we want to place a more permanent downtown transfer location at. So we have, I believe, Adam, correct me if I'm wrong, I know that there were a lot of nominations last week to the committee, including the chair of the committee, I think. And we still have our spot, and is that it that needs to be named?
Yes, it's just the PTAC representative is the last remaining spot. If you wouldn't mind, I can say just a few minutes about that group and the scope of that work. So this is an 11-member committee. It is a mix of different organization representatives. So aside from PTAC, there is a library and senior resource representative. Those are two organizations who've been neighbors, physical neighbors of the temporary transfer area for the last 10 years. There's different downtown and business representation on this group. So the Chamber of Commerce as well as Downtown Lawrence, Inc. both have a representative on the group, and both of those are business owners. There's a bus rider representative, a bus driver representative, a downtown employee, a downtown resident, and also an at-large member. There will be a chairperson who's non-voting, will be there just for facilitation purposes and helping to run those meetings. But the purpose of this group, as Mike mentioned, is to get a site selected for improvements, improvements to the transfer area. It is not the same scope of project as Central Station. We're not looking to improve a large building, but there will be some amenities that provide for comfortable, convenient transit operations. So sawtooth bus bays, canopies, seating, wind protection, and some technology, along with a driver restroom facility. So drivers have a place to go to the restroom. So this particular steering committee group will not get into the nitty-gritty of design. It's more about the site selection, but that work is critical to getting a site that is convenient for transit riders, both today and in the future, but also fits well within all of the other things going on downtown. There's a lot of interest and a lot of focus on exactly how our land is used in the downtown area. So this group will help us sift through options and the process, help oversee and kind of guide the public engagement work that staff will do to get us to a site that the community can support. So presented to this group about that before, but wanted to give you all a recap. In general, I think we expect monthly meetings is what the person would attend. It's possible there will need to be some subcommittee work, but the initial ask would be just monthly meetings, more or less from March through December of this year, to help guide that work. So happy to answer any other questions about it, but I can turn it back to you, Mike, for anything else you need.
No, I think you hit everything that I want. Committee members, do any of you have further questions beyond what Adam outlined?
Last Fay Vice Chair, have they determined approximately when these meetings might be, like a day or approximate time, if they'll be in person or Zoom only, that kind of thing?
So once we get this last slot filled from this group, the plan is to send out a doodle poll that will allow us to understand times that work for everybody on the committee. So we haven't predetermined those times yet because we want to make sure it works for all members. We do hope we can have those meetings at Central Station. We have a nice new conference room there, and parking for people to come to if they're not arriving to that by bus, but an easy place to get to by bus as well. But logistics as far as exactly what days and times will be figured out once we have all the members and figure out what times work for people.
Any other questions from committee members? Okay. I don't necessarily, I know that y'all are very busy people, so I don't necessarily expect you to step up. If someone is interested, please raise your hand. Otherwise, I am definitely willing to participate as PTAC's representative on this committee.
Last Fay, I'm interested. I'm a little concerned about changes to my work schedule later in the year, but I am interested.
Okay. Hearing nothing from Austin, Bill, and Freddie, I move that we nominate Lance, and I'm happy to be an alternate.
This is Freddie Gipp. I'll second that motion.
Okay. Any discussion anyone wants to have? Okay. Jared, could you go through roll call on that motion, please?
Lance Fay,
Yes.
Austin Stifler,
Yes.
Mike Wazakowski,
Yes.
Bill Wilson,
Yes.
Freddie Gipp.
Yes.
Okay. Lance, thank you. If you aren't able to fulfill your obligations for whatever work schedule changes or troubling you, I'd be happy to join the steering committee at that time and take your place. Well, next item on the agenda then is PTAC member items, which at the moment we don't really have a lot of PTAC member items. The only thing I want to potentially bring up, since Adam mentioned it in the context of the steering committee, is we do now have the Central Station open to us with a conference room that would presumably be well suited for meetings like PTAC. Is there any interest in us shifting to use that location and or asking people to start attending these meetings in person again?
This is Freddie Gipp here. Would it be mandatory for that, or would Zoom still be an option just in case, like, we're out of town or something?
I don't want to mandate that anyone attend in person.
Okay.
I think that it would be helpful to show up now and again in person. I mean, I think that there's something to be said that the nature of how we relate to each other is a little bit different over Zoom than in person.
Yeah.
I'm not going to force anyone because I've been working remotely for 3.5 years now, and I don't want to be forced back into the office of anyone else. So I would hope that we figure out if we do shift over there that there is a way to include people virtually still.
Yeah, we have the technology over there for hybrid meetings, so we'd be able to do that. I'd probably have to do a little coordination with Kurt on, I'm not sure how many off-site, live streaming of these type of things. There might be a little bit of technology to figure out, but probably not insurmountable.
I see a thumbs up there. That sounds like a good sign. Thank you very much. Let's figure out before we announce the March meeting if we have any IT issues that'll hold that up. And assuming that we don't, let's plan on shifting to meeting at Central Station in March. I will plan on being in attendance in person. Everyone else, Adam, Jared, I'm sorry, you're probably not off the hook from me in person. I don't think that'll work very well. Lance, I assume you would want to attend in person since you're already here. But Austin, Bill, Freddie, if you want to stay remote, that's A-okay. If you want to come in person, I would gladly welcome to see you in person again, because I don't think it's been a long time. Are there any other agenda items, work session items anyone wants to bring up?
I have one question. Is the rest of the steering committee for the downtown station filled, or are they nominating right as we speak?
I think everyone was nominated and confirmed at the last city commission meeting.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let me
correct.
pull that up and be certain.
Yeah, that is correct.
Now, it was Charlie Bryan, if I remember right, was named the chair. And then let's see, what were the other positions that they confirmed?
I can put in the chat the link to the
I've got it
committee page
here.
and-
I'm doing my search. Oh, I can't do it because it's the Chamber of Commerce rep was named, Downtown Lawrence rep was named, LPL and Senior Resource Center reps were named, First Transit rep was named, Lawrence Association of Neighborhoods was named, and Lawrence Transit Writer was named. So yeah, ours is the only one that's left.
All right. Thank you for that.
Welcome. Any further agenda or work session items? As always, if there is something that you don't want to bring up here, feel free to email Adam, Lance, and myself, and we will make sure that it's added onto the next appropriate agenda. Only other thing, Adam, I think we'll probably want like some sort of view in March of like what projects are ongoing and like I would bet that there's probably some sort of like HOMA train or annual train that we need to go through since it's a new year. So that would probably be the only other thing that I'd expect. Okay, next on the agenda, transit staff items. Adam and Jared, do y'all have anything that you want to bring up now that we haven't talked about yet?
Yeah, I'll bring up a couple of things. So we do have 3 open positions on this group right now, which is why we're scraping by with quorum a little bit. So we are working closely with the city clerk's office and the commission to get those filled so that we're back up to capacity. I decided not to put some of the items you mentioned on this agenda. So we typically do a Kansas Open Meetings Act refresher training, just a quick presentation, a PTAC orientation type presentation that just kind of reiterates what our scope is and how we fit in all the work that we do, and then a overview presentation of Lawrence Transit that includes an annual work plan, all the projects that we have, the discrete projects that we will be working on in 2024, as well as ongoing programmatic type things that we do, just so that you all have a sense of the different things we're going to try to accomplish this year. And I've been holding off on that until we get I anticipate us getting some new members. I don't see any new nominations or appointments on tomorrow's city commission, so I'll just keep in touch, and hopefully before our March meeting, we'll be back up to the 9 members, so that we can do some of those kind of start of the year type presentations that we typically do. The other thing I want to put on your radar is we are looking towards a Central Station grand opening. So shortly we'll be sending out a save the date with some information about that. But just for your radar, March 23rd is a Saturday, and that's the day that we hope to invite the public, and we'll have some, short group of speakers say some words about the Central Station project and invite people into the space. This week we're getting our first wave of furniture. Later this week we get some digital kiosks out on the platform, and about the middle of March we get another wave of furniture. So we're still polishing different things, but by that March 23rd date we should have Central Station about at its completion with all the finishing touches. So that'll be a good way to celebrate that work and show you all around. With that said, we're open Monday through Saturday, so come see us anytime. Happy to walk you around and show you the different elements out there at the station.
Thank you for that.
Those were the only extra staff items I wanted to share.
I wanted to ask real quick, Freddie, have I been pronouncing your last name incorrectly?
It's pretty Gip, like one for the Gipper.
Okay, that's what I was saying, so, thank you.
Okay. Thank you for that. Well, that closes out our agenda for today. Only thing I would add on top of Adam's exhortation about trying to find new members, if you have any idea of someone who might be interested in serving on committee, by all means, ask them to fill out the application form online. As long as you have an interest in transit, we'll definitely take anyone and everyone who was interested in helping us out.
Yeah, I agree to that point. This is Freddie Good speaking. I think we should also look at, since now that there's a new route going to Haskell, having that kind of perspective in there too from a student side. But that could be for future consideration too. So
yeah, I would love to have someone who's a student at Haskell on board. That just like we serve the students at KU, we serve the students at Haskell, and they definitely should have a voice in if we're doing that or not.
yeah, since we're in a different phase now with transit, for that route going through the university too directly for the first-time members. So yeah, that's something to consider. So thank you for that, though. That's all I have.
Okay.
Lance Fay, Vice Chair, a couple things. One, is there a way to specifically reach out to Haskell to let them know that we'd be interested in that? Another question I had, usually in the spring at some point there is a public viewing and comment for any proposed route changes for that upcoming August. Will there anything like that be going on this year, and if so, about when?
Yes, good question. So let's start with a couple things on the appointments to PTAC. So to give you all a sense of how that process looks from my side. So me as the staff liaison, I don't get to see any of the applications that go into the system. Those go straight to the commission, and the mayor reviews those for appointments. I do get to relay through the city clerk's office what some of our prospective gaps are. So in the past, I have shared, we don't have very many young people on the commission, or we don't have someone who's a woman on the commission, or we don't have.
Yeah, in particular, right now we don't have a woman on the commission or on the committee.
And so in this case, I'll be sharing that, and I can at the same time I'll be able to share that the group desires consideration for any applications that have come through from like a student at Haskell or Haskell representation. But the actual appointments are kind of up to the mayor and the commission. Each of them kind of can handle that differently as far as if I will or will not hear from them pre-appointment, but just kind of give you some insight on, I'm happy to tell the commission kind of what we're missing and what the group desires as far as additional perspectives to make this a well-rounded group. So I can certainly help with that. On the route adjustments question, that's a good one. So we did some off-schedule changes in response to just the early route challenges we are seeing. So actually today is the first day of adjustments we have made to routes. Primarily we were making transfer timings a little easier downtown, was a pain point that we recognized in this first month of operation. So those changes went into effect today. There was a couple of morning trips as well that help connect people a little better to school across town. So those are some of the adjustments made today. We are going to get back on our regular route adjustment schedule, which is, as Lance described, we solicit public comment typically through March and April in preparation for August changes. This year, I would imagine following a large route redesign, it's not going to be major changes, but we will put out some ideas of some things we can do to smooth any other bumps that we've seen in some of the early operation, and put that out for public consideration and comment. There's an existing survey that we have out right now asking people for feedback route by route. So if they like something or don't like something about a specific route, we're already gathering that information, and we'll leave that survey up through April. But we do plan to put out some additional, more specific comments more specific proposals as we kind of clarify what tweaks we are interested in making for August. One of those questions is likely to be related to people's thoughts around Sunday service and the effect of affording Sunday service, which is more limited frequency in the midday on fixed routes. So that's been a new thing for the community to navigate, having mostly hourly service throughout the middle of the day instead of half hour, which afforded us the hours we needed for Sundays. And so we'll take this spring as an opportunity to check in on how people feel about that, if that still feels like a good trade-off, if there's concerns about different balance that the community might want in regards to how to best use the hours we have available to us. But that's a long-winded way to say, Lance, that yes, we plan to do additional outreach this March and April in anticipation of kind of getting back on schedule for August changes.
Thank you for those questions and answers. Is there anything else anyone wants to bring up before we exhaust our agenda? Okay. Next meeting is scheduled for March 11th. Look forward to seeing you all there in person or on Zoom call. That will adjourn for today. Thank you very much for your time, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.